Hey, you guys, and welcome to American Culture. I'm getting ready to go walk the dog, but God divinely inspired me and said, Alicia, there's somebody who's going to watch this that needs to hear this. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I only have like two viewers right now. So, well, hey, with that being said, I'm here to tell you why in depth as to why I'm taking this trip to the Caribbean in a few weeks. I told you, um, God's been talking to me, and one of the things He wanted me to realize that life is like an all expense paid trip. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of Christians they'll hear that, oh, don't be the prosperity lady. But I mean, in the aspect of you've got every single thing provided to you that you need to continue to survive, is that not the truth? Because you're still alive. So yeah, everything is provided for you. And one of those things, if he's doing it for the birds and the bees, isn't he not doing it for you? So yeah, we just don't, again, we have these self-worth issues and we just don't want to accept that it's happening to that degree. But life is like that. It is an all expense paid vacation. But a lot of us, we get up every single morning, we thank God for the trip, but then we go off and do whatever it is that we want to do, and we rarely invite him in. And so what God wanted me to know is that on this expense paid trip, he cannot actually write a check or book a hotel room. There are going to be times when he wants to send you on assignment, and that means that you have to take the resources and make it happen. And so for me, that's what this trip to the Caribbean, you might hear me say it a couple different ways, is. It is me being obedient to actually following through on an assignment as if God is providing all of the expenses of this, and I am just going to do it because again, we do believe that if God is sending us out on purpose, that he will provide for you to do that. I'm not going to have to sit here and stress myself out and toil. And it suddenly clicked because Alicia, would not sit here and be like, I don't have a reason to go to St. Croix. That's where I'm going. I don't have a reason to do that, you guys. And God will protect the flight and do all that other stuff. I don't have a reason to go out there. I'm not looking for anything. It just seems out of the blue. It's only for a few days. It's like, okay, why? Other than the Lord is telling me to, and he wants me for the first time in my life to not look at my dwindling bank account and say, this is for no reason, I'm not worth it, why am I doing this is a waste of time, blah 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 blah, and know that I'm just going on assignment, and that he set all of this up, that I have the job this way, the money this way, the time this way, there are all the resources to be able to do just this. This is a real turning point in my life, in your life. I don't know what it is that you're doing, but it's you're probably at the same point where you think about money the way that I do, where it's still a safety blanket, a security blanket. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat that. You don't have mom and dad out there helping you out, so it does help to have a few extra zeros lying around just in case. And slight little things when it takes three, four figures, to do a random thing, it can be like, why? And so unless it seems as though it's for some outside validation, what is the point? And you're finally at a point to where you don't need to be doing the big things for the outside validation. You're doing the big things because God has said do them, and he's given you the resources, and letting that be it. And so if you're finally at a point like myself where you can go into the experience to simply have the experience. It doesn't have to be your way. There is no way here. I'm just here because God sent me here. So you're actually going to be open and available to whatever it is that God wants you to do, uh, with whatever it is that he's telling you to do. Because finally now, like I said, you're not blocking him out with your own plan and your own thoughts of what you needed to do. So yeah, I'm making this video because he told me to, because you're here and you gotta need to hear the same thing, that he's given you resources to do this. It's all been set up so that you can pour your time, your money, your whatever that you have that you're thinking yours is, into making this particular thing happen. Because again, he wants you to see that when you are on assignment for him, he provides for that, meaning that this will come back to you the same way anything else will. And it's not about work. The same way you provide for your life, let God provide for the things that he's asking you to do, and be grateful for it. And that's the other part of it. It's just actually being grateful for the things you can be grateful for. You can have it far worse and you don't. And so if God is telling you to take this trip, to buy that thing, to go to that place, and you have all the time, all the resources to be able to do it relatively freely, it's just going to dwindle down for a little bit what you thought, was keeping you secure. Be thankful for that. You're under no real threat, that you're being floated into, a life of goodness. So yeah, it's just time to go ahead and let the resources go, because they're not your security blanket. God has given you them so that you can carry out this purpose, these assignments. And that's what I'm about to do when I take this trip. And I think that that's what you're going to do whenever you buy. It's not, I don't know if it's a car or what. That's what it's going to, I feel like it's a car, like a van, but that's what it's going to happen whenever you go ahead and pour your resources into that big thing that God's telling you to pour into. He lets you know, I'm showing you, I've given you this to do this. And there will be more that comes from it, but he needs you to kind of get the ball rolling on that. So I hope that helps you guys. Have a blessed night, friends.